All right, all right, all right. Peace and love, brother. How are you?
All good. Peace to the family.
So actually, I'll allow you to kind of start things off because we are on your platform right now.
Well, yeah, it's your brother D Calico, you know, with my brother Crumb TV, aka Crumb Snatcher. You feel me? The great, the great master student himself. You feel me? Yeah, we streaming from the branch of knowledge. We streaming from D Calico, and I think Facebook world. So, y'all just go ahead and check in. All adults only. Feel me? It's the late night show.
Yes, brother, that's right. It is the late night show. I want to thank you so much for having me on your YouTube channel. Really means the world to me. Um, I actually wanted to let the family know because yeah, we are on Facebook as well and we're on Twitter right now as well. So shout out to the family everywhere. Um, this is a united effort between D Calico and Crumb of Crumb TV. We're doing a video called Super Mario and the Occult of Video Games. When we did with the word occult, we're talking about the hidden, the things that aren't seen. What that's something opposite of esoteric. You'll get there when you get there. Occult is things that were never intended for you to know. So I want to thank you so much, brother, because you've really been leading the way scholastically. You were on the line and you were reading to me, and I was like, "Dag, I want to jump into the action as well, and I want to read a little bit too." So I wanted to ask, could you, get us started? And whenever you're ready, I'll start reading.
Yeah. We're gonna tap into the what's been hidden. That's what that's what a cult means. So we always dealing with things that's in plain sight. So we grew up on this video game, but we wasn't quite alert back then, you know. But my brother Crumb finna get us caught up to speed.
Absolutely, I appreciate you. So this is an article from 3 years ago, written by a guy named John Martinson, and the hashtag is gaming. The website is steamit.com. So I'll get us started now that we've gone through the receipts. I remember first coming into contact with Super Mario Brothers when I was 8 years old. The year was 1989, and my brothers and I went over to the Miller's house to play with Jim Miller's two sons. My family was poor, so it seemed to us that the Millers had all the cool stuff. As I recall, their dad was involved in missile design for the Department of Defense, and they were living quite nicely out on the edge of Mojave Desert. I'm sorry, excuse me, out on the edge of the Mojave Desert in Southern California, otherwise known as SoCal. They had a computer, a Betamax movie theater, parentheses, precursor to VHS and DVD, and the Nintendo game system. I had played Atari at another friend's house, but the Nintendo was a remarkable setup with its flagship game, Super Mario Brothers. You still with me, brother?
Oh yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, okay, okay, cool, 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 cool. All right, here we are. It was one thing to play Choplifter on Atari with its bland graphics, and a whole different experience to play Super Mario Brothers, which was like entering a completely different world. I was never any good at the game, but my brother Jason was amazing. Watching him play was like watching the kid in the movie The Wizard in 1989. If I could interject really quickly, a lot of people called this movie a 48-minute Nintendo commercial. Nonetheless,
Yeah.
um, Watching him play was like watching the kid in the movie The Wizard from 1989, wherein Jimmy Woods, played by Edwards, wrecks everybody as a child prodigy at video games. In Jason's teens, he entered the 1993 Star Fox Championship for the Super Nintendo video game and destroyed everybody at three different shopping malls in Toledo, Ohio. Jason was the wizard, and to me, video games were nothing short of magic. So the name wizard is very fitting in terms of the occult. Although I wasn't very good at video games, I didn't realize until recently that Super Mario Brothers connected to me synchron synchron
Yeah, synchronistically.
synchronistically. I didn't realize until recently that the Super Mario Brothers connected with me synchronistically, or as some students of the occult say, synchromistically.
Ooh, I like that. I like.
I
I
like
like.
Back in 1989, I was going to school at Wrightwood Elementary and turning down recess to write stories in Mr. Tetley's third grade class. I was infatuated with a girl named Sarah Peach. Little did I realize that Sarah means princess, and Super Mario was on a mission to save Princess Peach. Furthermore, my family name is Martinson, which
Mm,
means the god of war, Mars or Ares, child of Mars, or even son of Mars, Amen, Ares, etc. What does
mm,
what does Mario mean? It derives from the Roman god of war, Mars. Super Mario or Mars is on a mission to rescue Princess Sarah or Peach.
mm,
And we can see the picture right here of Mario and Princess Peach and the god of war, Mars, with Sarah.
mhm.
The story of Super Mario faintly recalled. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not who this is. We're going to find out who this is right now. My apologies. The story of Super Mario faintly recalls the Greek myth of Orpheus, who descended into the depths of Hades to rescue his true love, Eurydice, who had died by a poisonous snake bite. Orpheus, the son of Apollo, was a mere mortal who could not have survived a descent into Hades had it not been for his magical assistance of the gods. Traditionally, Mario and his brother Luigi, which the word Luigi is Italian meaning renowned fighter,
Mm, mm,
are mere human beings who have descended into the mushroom kingdom to rescue the princess who has been captured by the evil Bowser. I'm gonna pass the mic in just a second. Let me read this last sentence. The brothers are able to survive the trials of the Mushroom Kingdom by various power ups that help them overcome daunting obstacles and the onslaught of enemies. Brother, what do you think so far?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier with just me and you, I wanted to connect that the whole, name Luigi. I already knew it was Italian because of so-called Christopher Columbus, who was really Christopher Colombo. His birthplace was really Liguria. So through the name Liguria, I'm getting in and I can see the word Luigi or the name Luigi being in a variant of that, just like Mario is a variant of the god Mars himself. You know,
Teach.
so
Okay. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to continue.
for sure.
Okay. Uh, Although there are 50 different power ups in the Super Mario franchise, apart from the Superstar, there are three that are significant. The mushroom power ups turn Mario into Big Mario, which makes him tougher. The Berserkers, meaning bearskins, were elite Norse warriors who were said to have fought in a trance like fury. These Uh, these is, I think that should be this. This is where we get the phrase going berserk from these berserkers who were in a trance fighting. Some historians have proposed that berserker warriors were able to bring on their seemingly unstoppable rage by voluntarily consuming the hallucinogenic mushroom and amantia. I'm sorry,
Amanita
amanita,
Muscaria.
amanita muscaria, known today on the streets as magic mushrooms. Super Mario Super Mario is also able to transform himself into a flying raccoon by consuming the Super Power Leaf. In this form, Mario isn't actually fully transformed into a raccoon, but appears to be wearing part of the pelt of a giant raccoon. Similarly, Norse elite warriors would wear bear skins, these berserkers, wolf skins, which they called Ulf Hemnar. I'm sorry, Ulf Hednar, Ulfednar, maybe, or the skin of a wild boar. I'm not even going to go for that word. Although the leaf relates to a tree and raccoons are seen climbing trees and jumping from tree to tree, this recalls the leaf of the marijuana plant. If we take Super Mario's descent into the Mushroom Kingdom as a psychedelic journey, and the kingdom certainly is a strange place, the super leaf relating to the drug makes sense. Brother, what do you make of the mushrooms and the leaves?
Yeah, like I was actually looking up. I'm eventually finding a few, but an old article, an old post I made about the Amanita muscaria. The mushroom. It, in what I would say Native American mythology. To try to put it in layman's terms. In Native American mythology, they would say and tell you that the mushroom comes from heaven. If you feel me, the mushroom has no seed or anything, and it only comes after the rain. So the rain was raining down the seeds that produce what we call mushrooms. So this is a heavenly substance, and it's the exact same shape as your pineal gland. Hmm? Your
Mm,
pineal gland is shaped like a mushroom, so to speak. That's the closest resemblance period of what a pineal is. So you could imagine, what the serotonin and melatonin and what the mushroom and the pineal have, and you know, I'm sure they make some beautiful music together.
mm. Also, I wanted to ask about the leaf. Uh, do you see anything with the marijuana leaf, or what do you think about that?
I mean, that's how we take flight, you know, and as the image is showing, you know, that is symbolic of the marijuana leaf or the chronic leaf, and we all know that that's why we call it, getting high, because
Ooh.
that's where our mind really, can fly, you know.
I wanted to let you know we have the family on Twitter. Peace and love. The name is I Want My Vision. Says there's occult symbolism in every facet of mainstream entertainment. On Facebook, the family is saying, "Good day. May one be healthy and wealthy, filled with wholeness and balance." And over on YouTube, the family's chiming in and says, "Peace to the gods and goddesses." We see all of the family as well, and we appreciate you for chiming in. Brother, anything to add, or should I continue?
Yeah, you can continue, brother. And
So,
hold on, hey, and it just made me think about that M on his hat too. Speaking of marijuana, but go ahead.
indeed. So, the third power up worth mentioning is the fire flower. In the Mushroom Kingdom, when Mario ingests the fire flower, he is able to throw balls at his fireballs at his enemies. In our world, the poppy flower is used to create the drugs opium and heroin. So it seems to me that we have a it seems to me that what we have is a plumber who's high on drugs jumping around, smashing bricks, stomping on turtles, and desperately trying to rescue a beautiful princess. And that perhaps only exists in his drug addled brain. Moving forward, this star. Keep in mind that Super Mario power ups make Super Mario temporarily invincible. What drugs make you feel like a superstar? I think what I think it would have been too much to have an 8 ball of cocaine icon for the power up, so they went with the flashing disco superstar graphic. It's also worth mentioning when he gets that star, a sort of disco music plays. Something of that, like that. Did you want to add anything, or should we go to the Masonic aspect?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's another reason he had that M on his head, huh? Mason.
Teach. All right. So, uh, breaking cubes of bricks is particularly interesting because perhaps it will give us a clue to the architects who designed the world Mario has ventured into. Bricklayers are also called masons. One might wonder if Freemasons have anything to do with the strange madness of the world of Super Mario Brothers. But keep in mind that Mario is actually destroying the brick cubes. So does it mean that he symbolically opposes Freemasonry? After all, Mario also stomps on turtles, and turtles is a symbol of another society, the Fabian Society, whose motto is "When I strike hard." In addition to that, could I tie one more thing into this, please, brother?
Yeah, the Turtle Islanders.
Turtle Islanders.
Yeah.
And um, according to the ancestors who were on Turtle Island, um, uh, I thought, no, I'm sorry. Never mind. Let me continue. Turtle Island. You're absolutely right. So, yeah, the family on YouTube said, "Damn, Gina." Well, actually, they said, "Damn, Gina." Anyway, let's keep going. So, um, before excitedly jumping to this conclusion, let's keep in mind that Mario was a plumber. When Shigeru Miyamoto created Super Mario, he could have given Mario any occupation, but he chose plumber. The word plumber just so happens to have a value of 33 in Pythagorean gematria. Gematria is when you assign a numerical value to each letter in an alphabet and then calculate the total value of words, names, sentences, or phrases using that cipher. The number 33 is significant for there are 33 degrees in Scottish rite of Mason in the Scottish rite of Masonry, and Freemasons seem to have a thing for using gematria to hide their secrets in plain sight. If you look at the word plumber, P is 7, L is 3, U is 3, M is 4, B is 2, E is 5, R is 9, totaling 33. Anything to add, brother, or shall I continue?
Yes, sir. Continue, bro.
Most famously, gematria was used to give us the ominous number 666 from the revelation of St. John the Divine. Most people know the verses as, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number, I'm sorry, um, and his number is 600, three score and six." Revelation chapter 13, verse 18. The truth is that the last line of the verse doesn't actually say that his number is 600, three score and six. In the original Greek, the line reads, it is some Greek terminology. John didn't give us the number 666. He gave us three Greek letters, X, E, and C, chi, xi, and stigma. which together have a value of 666 in Greek gematria. If segued into the book Revelation, is that segue? That's not that segud. What is that?
Yeah. Say yeah. I mean, I guess they were trying to say segue. You know.
Well, let me just so I can make sure I'm right and exact. Pronounce. Let's just see how it sounds. Well, it says segue, so I guess we're on to something. Continuing on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I've segued into the book Revelation not just to point out that the occult system of gematria was not only used in the Bible, but also because Revelation is important for understanding the occult of video games. In Revelations 21:16, we read, "And the city lieth four square, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal." In other words, the city of heaven is a cube. This is
Hmm.
according to Revelations. A lot of fundamentalist Christian conspiracy theorists, as of late, have been freaking out about cube symbolism and talking about the hexagon and the cube of Saturn. But keep in mind that these people neither read nor understand this occult book, although they call it their Bible. Once you understand the city of heaven is a cube, then the names of the video game systems will make more sense to you, like Nintendo GameCube or Xbox, according to Revelations 21 and 17. Nintendo, did you want to add anything or shall I continue?
Matter of fact, I just wanted you to let the people see this right quick. I'm gonna share this with you. Boom. Can you share that with the people?
Shall I read or would you like to take the reign?
Yeah, I'm gonna read it for him. The Amanita muscaria is the red and white magic mushroom that grows almost exclusively beneath what?
Pine trees,
Pine trees. Huh? One of the active substances in the hallucinogenic mushroom is DMT. Huh?
dimethyltryptamine,
Yeah, that the pineal produces. And entheogen, and we know it's what the word theo means. Theo means God.
God.
And entheogen, gen, meaning your gene, your genealogy, your genes, your genetics.
or your
In
or
and
or your genie spiritually,
Yeah,
the genius.
yeah, your genius theo, God. You know, your entheogen naturally produced in the brain's pineal gland.
Mm,
But did we just notice that the mushrooms are they grow almost exclusively under?
pine trees.
So what is the presence under the Christmas tree?
Oh, okay. Mushrooms.
I say
I say.
Amanita muscaria. Yep. That's all I
Amanita
just wanted to add right
muscaria.
quick.
All right. So Nintendo roughly means leave luck to heaven. How very appropriate that
Oh
Nintendo.
shoot. I don't know if it's my side. Crumb, I don't know if they can hear you. I think it might have froze up. Nintendo roughly means leave luck to heaven.
Can, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. I was just waiting on you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Am I good?
Yeah, you great. I can hear you.
Nintendo roughly means leave luck to heaven. How very appropriate that Nintendo released a game console called the GameCube. For as Nintendo's longtime competitor, Sega is merely the word ages spelled backwards and relates to the ages of human existence. I wanted to see if I could um, kind of ask a question to the listening audience. If you did not realize Sega was ages spelled backwards, can you please press one? If you did not realize that Sega was ages spelled backwards, can you please press one? And we're going to continue to blow your mind and why this is important. Please and thank you.
And watch this, brother, because we know that vowels are interchangeable. So Sega, Sega, the two vowels are the E and the A. So we can just make that the word saga, Saga, and the saga continues. You feel me?
Ooh,
With being ages, which meaning Sega.
okay. You
Mm,
teach it. You teach it. So Sega's initial system, the SG-1000, was utterly crushed by Nintendo's NES. So much so that virtually nobody remembers, but Sega's first real contender in the ring was called the Genesis, for that is the first age of man. Sega also released the Saturn, which relates to the cube, but that is a discussion beyond the scope of this article. Microsoft obviously plays into the cube of heaven with their Xbox, and it should be noted that the letter X is used to represent the word Christ.
mhm.
Thus, we have the Christ box or Christ cube. This, of course, is why Christmas is abbreviated Xmas.
And Crumb taught me that before I even got that far when we were first reading this, just on the phone together. And he had already broke it down before we got that far. He was like, and you know how I'm gonna prove to you that X means Christ? And yeah, he said, when is his birthday? And yep, I was like, you're right, Xmas.
Xmas, that's
You
right.
feel me? Because I already knew that it's just that same cross, just what we call it, inverted. You feel me?
I wanted to shout out most of the people watching right now are on Branch of Knowledge. Shout out to everybody who is subscribed over there. And if you're not, smash that subscribe button. The family says this is so deep. Shall I continue, brother?
For sure.
Christ, for the record, is also directly associated with the cube. Saul of the Tarsus writes in Ephesians chapter 3 verse 18 that Christ may dwell in your hearts by faith, that ye, being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all saints what is the breadth, the length, and the depth and height, and to know the love of Christ, which passeth knowledge, that ye might be filled with the fullness of God. Various Christian writers have spoken of Christ as a cube as well, such as Jerry Irvin Smith, who writes on page 265 of his book, The Cube is Coming. And this is what he writes. But my marching orders come from above as I serve the Lord Jesus Christ, the one whose cube dominates the attention of the world. Shall I continue?
Uh, I kind of want to just show him something pertaining exactly what we're talking about right now.
Shall I share the screen?
Yeah, share the screen. Are we done? Let me make sure. Okay, we all done. Yeah, because like I was saying, to my brother, and now I'm saying to y'all, when we saying the cube can also be called. We know that the Muslims, they all circle around what is called the Kaaba. You feel me? And you know, Kaaba is kind of saying it's the father cube. Like they'll tell you is other outsiders will tell you is the cube of Saturn. What I'm saying is Kaaba or Kaab really is in the same word as Kabbalah. So Kaab is really the word cube. Huh? So it's really the cube of Allah. And
Mm,
just like, even the Christians were just saying on the other page how the cube is synonymous with Jesus. So it's the cube of Allah, the Kaab Allah. And like it's saying, different shapes hold and conduct different energies.
Mm.
That's why we was just talking earlier, and I want the people to kind of know, that the structure like a pyramid produces its own energy. But even more deeply, a diomedic structure, a diomid, which is like a pyramid on top and one on bottom, which is what the Jews try to represent when they're showing you the pyramid intersecting, but they don't intersect. It's just one on top of the other. One cone pointed up, one cone pointed down. That shape produces a field that can protect us from so much ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. And what I'm saying is, it just tells you that these different shapes hold, whether it be a cube, a pyramid, or a diomid, or what I mean, any of these shapes, hold and conduct different energies. This is why the universe is made of sacred geometric patterns that are the blueprint for all existence, such as the platonic solids, the five elements. So we don't just see a cube and think basic or simple or something, that doesn't hold that energy like a pyramid does, because they all are sacred geometric patterns. You feel me? And they all conduct different energies. Huh? Just got to have knowledge of self. You got to feel it when it's there. You feel me?
Now, I wanted to also point out on my side, if you don't mind, because we just connected the dots from Christianity and the cube, and we also went with Islam and the cube.
Yep.
I wanted to just keep it 100% fair because we're dealing with the Abrahamic religions, the three main religions of the world that are based off Abraham: Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. So now that we've touched Christianity and Islam, just to touch on Judaism for a hot second, um, uh, the Sabbath day or the holy day is not Sunday, the day of the sun, which Christians worship. It's not Friday, the day of Muhammad, or even the Moors who call it holy day. It's
Okay.
actually, when we're dealing with Judaism, the Jews, their holy day is the Sabbath day in
Yep.
Hebrew. And the Sabbath day is on what day, brother?
Saturn's day.
Saturn's day.
Yep.
If you look at Saturn, you're going to find that on its north pole is a hexagon. Now, what is important about this hexagon is the hexagon is just a angle that you're looking at a cube.
Yep.
You're not looking at a hexagon in terms of three shapes. You're looking at a cube,
A
and you're
rotating, a rotating cube. At an angle that it seems in our three-dimensional minds. We see in a octagon, or you know, we seeing all of it. We think we seeing multiple shapes of it, but it's a cube that is spinning. That's why they tell you that eye on Saturn is a tornado of sorts. You feel me? That's what they say. They say it's a tornado that's bigger than Texas. You know, something like that, or bigger than the U.S. It's something like that. Yeah, but it's that giant cube, that cube of Saturn.
cube hexagonal feature, north pole of Saturn. Saturn is the sixth planet and the sixth day, and it has a six-sided shape on the north pole, or what we call a hexagon in two-dimensional form. So we've just covered the 666. Now that we've covered all three Abrahamic religions from Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, I wanted to ask your permission. May I please read one more time?
Uh, if you can give me just probably 2 minutes, because I just wanted to show them with this other page. I got to connect Metatron's cube. You feel me?
Please.
and Metatron's cube, which I'm sure I'm gonna have to show y'all the image. It's that Kabbalistic tree. And it's saying like Metatron's cube and all shapes in creation are contained within that cube. You know, it's oh, I was trying to compare it to something, but Metatron's cube. Let me show you, so we can be a little more clear. I know that some people have seen some people have seen this Kabbalistic. Okay, we can see it. I'm making sure y'all can see what I see. Yeah,
Now,
you know,
if I
and,
could
and
just break down what the family's looking at before you go into it,
go ahead, bro.
we're in Christianity right now, folks. However, this part of Christianity is called
Mysticism. Yeah,
Gnosticism. Please
yeah.
continue, brother.
And the most beautiful thing that I'm glad you said that, because most people don't even know, but like put out the Gnostic Christ, Gnostic meaning knowledge. So these people are the only ones that actually fully, truly knew the spiritualism or the religion or the Bible. And the Gnostic Christ is Mary Magdalene. But that was just to show you I know what I'm talking about, just in case anybody knows Gnosticism. But what I'm also going to say is Metatron is Enoch, huh? Metatron is Melchizedek, you know?
Well, I had wanted to share my screen again, if that's okay.
Yes, sir.
So the family will find receipts to what you're saying, but you're going to have to type in Archangel Metatron.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing about Enoch being an angel, he is the lowest tier of angel. He was once a mortal man who became angelicized. They're going to tell you that there were few people who never died.
Mm-hmm.
Enoch did not die. He simply just went to heaven. He was angelicized. This is according to Gnostic Christianism, Gnostic Christianity. However, you're going to see there was another one other than Archangel Metatron. If you talk about Archangel Metatron, you're going to have to talk about Archangel Saddlefron. Archangel Metatron and Saddlefron. I'm sorry. His name is actually Sandalphon. Excuse me. According to Wikipedia, in the Kabbalah, Sandalphon is the angel who represents the Sephira Molkuth and overlaps with with Angel Metatron. He is
Mm-hmm.
said to appear before the feminine presence of the Shekhinah and
Shekinah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Shekinah. Shekinah is the that's the first creation of Yahweh. Which was Shekinah, which is the goddess of heaven.
Shekinah, and to receive human prayers and send them to God. So now, when we're dealing with Archangel Metatron in the Christian Gnosticism, in terms of Jewish Gnosticism, we're going to go from different Judaic books, not the Torah, but we're dealing with the Tanakh, which was exclusively the oral version, where we talk about Saddlefron, because keep in mind, some things can't be put into words. They can only be passed on from my mouth to your ear. This is another form of masonry, to hide, conceal, and never reveal. But without further ado, did you want to share your screen, or should I go back to reading?
Now continue reading so we can be on pace.
Okay, really quickly, I want to say that Christine Williams says, family, please remember to smash that like button as you enter the chat and share to your favorite social media outlets and subscribe if you haven't already. I wanted to say Ashe. Okay, so here we go. I'm not sure how far back I left off, so I'll just read the last sentence or so. But by marching orders come from above, Lord Jesus Christ, the one whose cube dominates the attention of the world. This look back to my childhood and the early days of video games reminds me of the science fiction author Philip K. Dick, whose visionary mind brought us Blade Runner, Total Recall, The Adjustment Bureau, A Scanner Darkly, and Minority Report. In 1977, at a science fiction convention in France, Philip made the following cryptic statement.
In France, Philip
You broke up, brother. I didn't hear you.
they hating on you, Crump.
Who's hating on me?
It's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
now all of a sudden it's moving back smooth.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna close one of these windows, and I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
just read that last one, or should I not?
No, go ahead.
This look back to my childhood and early days of video games reminds me of the science fiction author Philip K. Dick, whose visionary mind brought us Blade Runner, Total Recall, The Adjustment Bureau, A Scanner Darkly, and probably the most famous, Minority Report. Well, Total Recall was pretty, well, all of them are pretty famous. In 1977, at a science fiction convention in France, Philip made the following cryptic statement. And this is what he said: I, in my stories and novels, often write about counterfeit worlds, semi real worlds, as well as deranged private worlds inhabited often by just one person, while meantime, the other characters either remain in their own worlds throughout or somehow drawn into one of the peculiar ones. This theme occurs in the corpus of my 27 years of writing. At no time did I have a theoretical or conscious explanation for my preoccupation with these pluriform pseudo worlds, but now I think I understand. What I was sensing was a manifold of partially actualized realities lying tangent to what evidently is the most actualized one, the one which the majority of us, by consensus gentum, agree on.
Mhm.
We are living in a computer programmed reality, and the only clue we have to it is when some variable is changed and some alteration in our reality occurs. We would overwhelmingly, I'm sorry, we would have the overwhelming impression that we are reliving the present. This is called deja vu. Perhaps in precisely the same way, hearing the same words, saying the same words. I'm sorry, hearing the same words, saying the same words. I submit that these impressions are valid and significant. And I will even say this: such an impression is a clue that at some point, at some past time point, a variable was changed, reprogrammed, and reprogrammed as it were, and that because of this, an alternative world branched off.
Uh,
Everyone,
like you,
everyone, yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. Everyone had a good laugh at Philip K. Dick when he proposed that we are living in a computer simulation. After all, it was 1977. A computer graphics were little more than crude blocks of screen. Pictured to the right is Nintendo Buroku, or Blockbreaker, color TV game released in 1977. So I'll continue if you have nothing to add.
I mean, everything he was saying almost even applied to DNA. How he was talking about it branching off and you know, like being severed through time and different things. He really was tapping into the genes, the genetics and almost the overall of everything. Even deep state, he was kind of going into deep state, how one person will run so much and other people falling into other different worlds, or realms that that person has beneath them or has created, like a game.
Wise words. Perhaps you would have to be as high as Super Mario to really consider that you're living in a computer program reality like the Matrix. But consider this: when Philip K. Dick gave that speech in 77, the most graphically advanced video game systems were the Atari 2600 and Nintendo's Buroku or Blockbreaker. For the record, Nintendo's color TV game Blockbreaker was colored orange. The word orange has a value of 33 in Pythagorean gematria. How could anyone have imagined in 77 graphics so advanced that they could be indistinguishable from real life? As we look at the video game on the screen, we are taking it for granted that we're actually looking at a representation of our own existence. Maybe I've taken too many Super Mario mushrooms. Brother, please close us out.
I mean, it exactly is what it is. Because, like I was, you know, like I'm gonna divulge to the people. Um, what we see in that cube is that's all we can see in this three-dimensional realm. And there's no way in on Earth that you can imagine or fully encapsulate what the fourth dimension looks like, or an object or thing looks like in the fourth dimension, without the help of virtual reality. Virtual reality is the only thing that can show you the multifaceted layers of a four-dimensional object on this realm. So it's really all blocks. Every image on your television is a series of squares and colors, and somehow they're making an image for your third dimension. But it's not what it seems when you get to the fourth dimension. Is it's levels. Like Super Mario. And we jumping in and out of those rabbit holes. So y'all follow us, and let's take that ride.
Well, I wanted to say that I appreciate you for having me on your platform. Thank you, brother.
Sure, I appreciate you, brother. It's always the same love, back and forth. You already know how we do.
All right. Well, with that said, peace.
Peace.